Hi there, this is The Advantage Podcast. We're hacking the art and neuroscience of expert leadership so that you can unstuck your true potential in life and work. I'm Dr. John Kay, I'm your host, and welcome to this episode. Will your talent pass the AI test? I want to start with talking about the benefits of AI in talent acquisition. A recruitment partner based in Shanghai told me that they now typically receive 260 new applications for an open position in a large company. The hospitality sector garners more than others. In Manchester, the United Kingdom, almost 1,000 people applied for a receptionist job in a single day in July 2020. You can understand why there is a rising excitement from recruiters looking to use computer technologies and artificial intelligence to sift through those applications. Feed the AI 100 resumes and out pop the top 5 candidates. Or at least that's the utopian ideal. In theory, an AI could reduce the time to sift through applications and, without bias, identify the candidates with the right set of attributes and skills and experience and qualifications that the position requires. These candidates could be tested remotely using psychometric tools, games, activities or simulations that demonstrate their fit for the role. And video interviews of candidates answering a series of questions could be passed, transcribed and analysed for spoken content, nuance, body language. But will it accurately get the meaning behind the words used? Automated bots, machine learning or full-blown AI, the promise of time-saving, unbiased, more accurate recruitment is alluring for many companies. Would you use an AI to recruit talent for your team? Will your talent pass the AI test? What's it like to be rejected by a computer then? Several mid-career professionals, most of whom have been retrenched thanks to COVID, others at the end of a contract or a project, or the business has collapsed. All experienced, well qualified and willing to work, are finding it increasingly challenging to find suitable employment. Most have at least 100 applications out there, and an average of 4 to 5% hit rate for getting an interview. Most of those get tested using a psychometric or one of the growing number of AI personality or skill tests. Then they hear crickets. Nothing. Nada. Rien. Zip. A few have been on several rounds of interviews. Then silence. A month or two later, they rediscover their letterbox and the letter we all love to receive. Dear Mr. Smith, we're sorry. We'll keep your details on file. No explanation, no suggestion as to why you weren't chosen. And if you ask and get a response, it comes on the lines of a better candidate. Yes, but what was wrong with me? Enough of these, and even the most zen have been known to crack. With no honest feedback, no test results, no guidance toward other more suitable roles available. Of course, there is the occasional celebration we are pleased to offer. Interestingly, most candidates don't ask what was right with me. Rejection is tough to bear. But would you prefer to be rejected by a human or a computer? The New King James Version of the Bible warns us, "Judge not, that you not be judged." And HR is already behind the curve when it comes to the real-world application of AI. It is possible that AI could have a transformative impact on talent attraction, retention and development, according to McKinsey. And the biggest value an AI-enabled HR team can provide to a business is improving employee performance. But I have a couple of questions for you at this point. Would you use an AI system for recruitment for your team? And the second question, would you like to be a candidate being assessed by an AI? There's trouble in AI paradise. The problem, as I see it, is the system is flawed now. We add artificial intelligence to the mix and you get a flawed system run by an AI. I added one word to my LinkedIn profile recently and suddenly I had a deluge of suitable opportunities. I had stumbled upon one of the keywords that the LinkedIn boffins included in their qualified applicant artificial intelligence model for these roles, and now it seems the combination of skills and experience match more vacancies. So I reached out to a few LinkedIn profile makeover specialists to get their take on keyword stuffing on profiles. They prefer that I use the word optimization. And yes, of course, you can get your profile made over quickly and easily to better match the job ones and the openings on offer. There's even a couple of AI-powered software platforms that will do this automagically. But isn't that trying to cheat the system? Well, let's face it, many CVs are a fiction of fancy job titles, mega responsibilities, and fantastical achievements. If I know or suspect that a keyword is being used by the applicant tracking system, then I just make sure to include it on my profile. And by the way, if you're after a 2021 tutorial on this, have a look at Daniel Lorenzo over at Let's Eat Grandma. The link's on the show notes. Also, I've got some tips to help your resume stand out in the age of AI from the Today newspaper linked there. But the promise of AI is that a computer isn't biased. Surely that's a good thing. Well, online retail giant Amazon didn't agree. In 2018, it was widely reported to have scrapped its own system because it showed a bias against female applicants. The Reuters news agency said that Amazon's AI system had taught itself that male candidates were preferable because they more often had a greater tech industry experience on their resume. Amazon declined to comment at the time. Professor Sandra Vakta, a senior research fellow in AI at Oxford University, concurs that in recruitment, looking for and at the successful candidates of the past is the data that you have. Who were the chief executives in the past? Who were the Oxford professors in the past? The recruitment algorithms are going to pick out more men. Amazon's computer models were trained to vet applicants by observing patterns in resumes submitted to the company over a 10-year period. Most of them had come from men. There are significant challenges for AI systems, according to James Meakin of UK business psychology consultancy Pern Candola. He's a specialist on the recruitment sector. He says that AI systems still have a number of challenges. The first step in selecting candidates is to correctly parse what they have said or written, he says. On this basic level, leading voice assistants from Google, Amazon and Apple still routinely fail to understand what people are saying. If an AI system can accurately transcribe what has been said, the second greater challenge is to detect the meaning embedded in those words, the semantics, the nuance and the context. Here, AI systems can fail to understand. In contrast, a human listening to the conversation will intuitively understand what is meant. In Europe, the potential for bias with AI comes under great scrutiny, particularly since GDPR implementation. But bias is well known in AI. And Talent Guard go on to say that bias is the Achilles heel of talent management solutions that employ AI in any form or fashion. For a robust research paper on this, check out Why Fairness Cannot Be Automated, Bridging the Gap Between EU Non-Discrimination Law and AI. I've got the PDF linked on the show notes. Fix the system and AI can add serious value. AI is not the panacea for many of their most challenging talent management solutions. It's impossible for AI to fix the flawed system it is modelled upon. When your LinkedIn profile is a true and accurate reflection of who you are, what skills you have and your experience, so nothing like a typical CV then, and the recruiter has truthfully and accurately identified the skills and experience required of open positions, then recruitment with the help of AI could be a boon to both recruiter and recruited. According to McKinsey, when you take humans out of the hiring process and you're using fundamental aptitude versus tacit knowledge that we're testing for, that actual ability is very evenly distributed across society. That's a promise that AI can help remove bias throughout the employee life, from recruitment through reward, performance, promotion, development, and compensation. For example, using an automated bot to better guide applicants to positions they are suitably qualified for. The goal is to make sure that every candidate or employee is hired based on what they can do and their potential for learning as they pursue an aspirational role. Once you apply and give access to your honest profile data, the AI then matches candidates to those who have skills with open positions. Brilliantly helpful. The biggest value an AI-enabled HR team can provide to a business is in improving employee performance without bias. AI can enable HR to apply and scale learning and support in new, highly personalised ways, well beyond traditional training courses. Though most organisations continue to perceive workplace learning as programmatic and focus on building and delivering courses. Many of the more famous talent assessment companies now have an AI version of their psychometric tests. Some are true AI. Many use machine learning, more are automated bots. The trend is there and the market huge. But if you eliminate candidates solely based on the results of a behavioural profile, especially with norms established 50 plus years ago on a largely Caucasian US male base, then your AI is going to be programmed to miss an awful lot of real talent too. Can AI identify talent? There is great potential for AI systems to identify true talent and the core values and attributes that make for your ideal team member. Tired of seeing the abuse of DISC, MBTI, Big Five and many others years ago, we developed our GAPS assessment to help identify strengths and weaknesses of someone's attributes, abilities and agility. Unlike other tools that show how you measure up to the average American, GAPS results are benchmarked against a subset of successful individuals in the same department or role, same cultural or country context, and same organisational level. This enabled us to identify if someone is likely to be successful in a particular role, and if there were some gaps, how these might be bridged. Many people disliked their results at first, because if they had seen previous test results, they usually see how magnificent they are. GAPS is honest and shows how you compare with successful people in your field. Would you rather be benchmarked against an average person or one who is successful? Critically, every person taking the GAPS assessment receives feedback and coaching. This means that when used in recruitment, a candidate gets feedback on their strengths, their weaknesses, and development priorities for a specific role. In the event they were less suitable, the system helped identify roles, cultural contexts, and organisational level that may be a better fit for them. Can an AI spot those words? Well, great coaches and interviewers have known this for centuries. They probe without judgment, when needed, to uncover hidden gems buried in a candidate's unconscious memories and help them to find out who the real person is behind the protective mask. We found that talents and strengths, values and attributes can be uncovered in the stories we tell about ourselves, not in the work of fiction we call a CV. It's the stories of significant moments in life from an early age to recent events. In our feedback coaching, we help candidates uncover their stories, which helps interpret their GAP scores in light of their experiences, their real talent and attributes. Put simply, we use discernment and wisdom gained through years of experience to help guide candidates on their best path that supports their prospective employer. Even when a candidate is rejected for a role, they speak highly of the employer because the experience of their assessment and coaching was valuable to them. Some candidates went off to go and gain the experience and skills that they lacked. Others were recontracted when more appropriate roles became available. Team collaborated more readily because everyone on the team knew their strengths, their weaknesses, and leveraged each other's true talents. Can an AI do all that? The only real stumbling block that I can see is that AI has no wisdom or discernment. Other than that, if we build on a good foundation of practices, processes and data, AI can help HR a great deal. If you build it on the current largely flawed system evident in most organisations worldwide, you'll have a flawed AI version of the system. So let me ask my two questions for you again. Would you use an AI system for recruitment of your team? And would you like to be a candidate being assessed by an AI? Join the debate. Join in the conversation. And if you want to learn how GAPS can help you recruit the right talent, build collaboration in your team, and improve the bottom line, well, it's not a true AI, but it comes with something far superior: the wisdom and discernment of human intelligence. Give us a shout. Be blessed. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Advantage podcast. I've been your host, Dr. John Kay. Do get in touch at leadershipadvantage.com. Bye for now and be greatly blessed.